Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the All-American Savage Show podcast. I am your host, John Burke, with my beautiful bearded husband here, Josh. How you doing this morning, my man?
Doing pretty good. How you doing, buddy?
I can't complain. I actually had a really fun weekend. For those that don't know, I posted it on Instagram at johnburk11b. We're working to get my old Instagram account back. I don't know if we will or won't, but we're still trying to get it back. The one they banned that was verified because they're a bunch of cocksucking fucking communists. But we are streaming live on Rumble right now, Twitch, and I forget which other one we're streaming on to, but we've stopped streaming, our private YouTube page, the All-American Savage Show podcast on the YouTube channel. That's going live right now, but we keep getting strikes on my main YouTube account and then Facebook, so we've kind of stopped streaming to those platforms. But we are primarily on Twitch now, which is really beneficial. It's cool. I might do some of the gaming streams and stuff still over on Facebook, but as far as the politics and the show, probably not. But no, this weekend, a friend of mine had told me to try out the Dallas Opera. There's a play called Hadestown, and it's definitely worth looking into. If you're into Greek mythology, this is a more contemporary take on it. It's a more current theme of it, but essentially the story is told by the character Hermes, and it's about the character Orpheus and the woman that he falls in love with. And essentially, I'm not going to give away, but I mean, if you know the story, you know how it ends. And it's some really good show, really good musical, very well done, very entertaining. It's not going to leave you bored. It's not one of those fat lady with the horns on her helmet like, ah! It's not like that. It's actually really, really good, rich storytelling. So that's Hadestown at the Dallas Opera House. So I would highly suggest going and checking it out. It's definitely worth the investment. Or I know they're also touring. They're off Broadway as well. So if they're in your area, go look into them. It's really, really good group of people. And then yesterday I went and did the painting with a twist, where you can essentially drink and paint.
Oh, you were busy this weekend.
Oh, it was a fun weekend. Yeah, we made sure to just get our money's worth. I wanted to go do something fun this weekend. So it was nice. It was good to recharge the batteries. Didn't really watch too much of social media. I've been blowing up on TikTok again. I posted some John Ross content, which tomorrow we're filming a new John Ross because we're only doing the podcast on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. That's to be determined. But tomorrow we're going to do a new John Ross. So really excited about that. And then we should hopefully have that up for you by Friday. We'll see. But I was posting some John Ross content on TikTok. It's blowing up the following again. As soon as I posted it, they muted it and said it violates terms of services, and there's nothing wrong with this one. So I appealed it, and within 2 minutes they reinstated the video. I was like, man, you guys are fucking quick. Like, they're watching my account. Like, they're watching it hardcore. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. Like, if I look at the most recent video over there, here's how bad it is. This is why these big techs like just shadow ban anyone they don't like. I think the most recent video, I'm sitting at 270,000 views, and I've only got 118,000 followers. It's like, how does this add up? Like, you like it, but then they won't let me get followed. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me, because I've gotten millions upon millions upon millions of views on this page. And, a lot of them could be haters that don't want to follow me, but I would like to think that ratio is probably a little bit different. I don't know.
There's a lot of conspiracy stuff on there, too.
There's TikTok. A lot of TikTok is a cesspool of the Z generation bullshit.
I like it though. It's like,
oh yeah,
drop a Delta 8 and
you can go down a rabbit hole on that platform.
Like, oh my god, maybe that is real.
You never know, but
maybe Bigfoot is real.
Oh my god,
they spotted him. Nobody can get him in HD.
What'd you do this weekend?
Just regular dad stuff. Home Depot, maybe Bed Bath & Beyond. I don't know. We had more time.
I like Bed Bath & Beyond. I do. I don't care what anybody says. I like that place. I think it's fun.
Clean the garage, wash the car.
Oh, God.
Took the kids bowling.
You said that. Now I'm going to have to go clean the garage. The girlfriend's been hitting me up about that. Like, I need to go do it. And she's like, yeah, I'll get to it.
The neighbors, they never rake their leaves. So every single leaf in the neighborhood ends up in my garage. So I'm like, goddamn bastards.
Son of a bitch. Oh, my God.
Rake.
But anyway. Well, I'm glad you had a good weekend. Ready to get back into it. Don't forget, this episode is brought to you by shellshockcbd.com. You can check us out. We just launched the Airborne Gummies, which are Delta 9. You can give those a shot. They are with THC. You will fail a drug test. Josh says he likes them, or they're a bit more potent than the Delta 8. I'm the opposite. It's up to you, the individual. Everybody's body reacts differently.
Mm-hmm. No, I like them both.
Here are the Airborne Gummies for those that are watching on Twitch. And we're live on Twitch. By the way, if you want to check out the podcast live and come support our voices, you can subscribe on Twitch, and that really helps us out. You can it's chatting for free. It doesn't cost you anything. You can watch for live. But if you want to financially support us, you can use your Amazon Prime account to link to Twitch, and it basically pays us $5 a month, and it doesn't cost you a dime. It doesn't cost you a dime. If you have Amazon Prime, come on over, subscribe on Twitch. It really helps us out. We really appreciate that love and support. So if you're listening to my voice, download the Twitch app and then give me a follow at The John Burk. The podcast is live Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. You can subscribe for free. It doesn't cost you a dime if you have Amazon Prime. You can support us that way. But these are the airborne gummies right here that I'm holding up. You can watch them live on Twitch. And these are essentially, for me, they're a milder version of the Delta 8. But Josh, he says that they're a little bit more stronger for him. Everybody's body is different.
Well, it's just a different experience because it doesn't hit you as hard as the Delta 8 does. So the Delta 8 is just more of a commitment. Yeah. It's like a weekend.
You said your high lasts a little bit less with the Delta 9, though. So that'd be good for like microdosing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, like if I take it at 7:30, 8:30 it kicks in. And then by the time I go to bed, 10:30, 11 o'clock, I'm like out.
And that's just one gummy?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you could, if it's not strong enough for you, obviously you could take more. But yeah, I just kind of like it. It's just a little bit more mellow.
I dig
It's not as much of a commitment. So
I dig it.
But both of them are really good.
Well, let's get into
it.
This day in history. You get the tunes for this?
No, I don't.
we got a new soundboard.
Damn
Josh is now the DJ.
Oh, terrible.
Already dropping the ball.
I'm a terrible
Already
DJ.
dropping the ball.
Great.
Jesus.
I can't remember where we got it. Fuck it.
This day in history, Larry Nassar, a former doctor at Michigan State and for the U.S. Gymnastics, is sentenced to 40 to 175 years in prison for sexual assault on January 24th of 2018. Nassar was found guilty of using his position in sports medicine to abuse hundreds of women and girls in one of the most high-profile cases to arise from the #MeToo movement. The scandal resulted not only in his imprisonment, likely for the rest of his life, but also criticism of the institutions that failed to detect and respond to his behavior. In the wake of the revelations, the president of Michigan State and the entire board of USAG resigned, while Nassar's accusers, which numbered over 260, received the Arthur Ashe Courage Award. Jesus, 260?
Jeez.
He sexually assaulted 260. What the fuck? Dude,
was his job.
I am shocked. Like 260 women. I'm surprised he actually got away with it for that long.
Yeah, probably more.
That's
probably more.
Yeah,
than
probably.
That. Yeah,
probably. That's crazy to me. Good Lord. Wait, was this the one that Simone Biles, the Olympian, was talking about? Was this the same guy?
Jeez.
The Olympic gymnast Simone that basically I'm just wow. Chat on Twitch is saying, yeah, I can't believe this. I mean, I can, but even still, 260 women. Good Lord. And they're saying it was also covered up by the FBI. No. What?
No.
You don't say. Not the FBI.
They're like the worst.
The FBI would never drop the ball on anything.
It's like the last.
That's not possible. I don't believe y'all. I don't believe y'all.
As soon as they showed up here in Texas, I'm like, all right.
Here we go. Here we go. All right. Jesus. Good old FBI. Just dropping the ball left and right. Well, that's this day in history. Good riddance to bad rubbish. Fuck that nerd. I hope he gets butt raped in prison, piece of shit. All right, let's get into it. All right, it's all over the news, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching it. You're hearing it right now. Joe Biden is trying to flex on Vladimir Putin, who is essentially basically talking about possibly, inevitably, never know, invading the Ukraine. So I'll just read the article. And here's the thing. CNN is really quiet right now. Because before the show, Josh and I, we pull up various different news articles from various different news sources and agencies. I mean, because again, this is an opinion podcast. This is not a professional journalistic podcast. It's
Obviously.
not.
Obviously by the DJ.
Obviously not. Yeah, but yeah, there we go. yeah. This day in history. I feel like I should do tap dancing right now. Way to go, Josh.
Sorry,
but
the
Biden administration is in shambles right now, in my opinion. And I think Biden is trying to flex on Putin. And again, CNN has been awfully quiet on this. This is coming from Fox News. NATO sending fighters, ships to region. UK to withdraw some staff from embassy in Ukraine. European Union aims to show united front in face of what it sees as Russian aggression. NATO announced Monday that it will send fighter jets and ships to Eastern Europe as tensions with the alliance and Russia hit a fever pitch due to the possibility of a Russian invasion of Ukraine. Denmark will sail a frigate to the Baltic Sea and send 4 F-16 fighter jets to Lithuania. Whoa, 4 F-16, stop. 4 jet, whoa. Look out now. Look out now. Oh, my God. Spain is also sending ships to join NATO forces in the region and considering sending fighter jets to Bulgaria. The statement read, France said it's willing to send troops to Romania, and the Netherlands also said it will send 2 F-35 fighter aircraft to Bulgaria in April. The move comes as tensions in the region is increasing by the day. And there's a lot of people not want, like, there's like, NATO's basically telling Putin to fuck off, like, stop. But it's going to be interesting to see, though, just where Biden tries to position himself in this, because essentially he was talking about sending 5,000 troops to the Balkans to increase troop presence there. It's like, whoa, bro. Whoa. Easy. The British embassy in Ukraine said it will withdraw some staffers from Kyiv in response to the growing threat from Russia just a day after the U.S. officials told Fox News that the State Department ordered families of U.S. embassy personnel in the city to begin evacuating. Why? Because we don't want an Afghanistan 2.0 if it does happen. Fool me once. Shame on you guys. Get them out of the embassies because shit's about to go down. There's going to be some blood spilling and some killing. Want our boys out. Meanwhile, we're going to commit 5,000 troops close by. What a joke.
I know. A
spokesperson for the Ukraine's foreign ministry blasted the State Department's decision as premature, an example of excessive caution. Melinda Simons, the British ambassador to Ukraine, posted on Twitter that its embassy remained open and will be continuing with our work alongside Ukrainian flag partners. NATO's message came as a short time after a lawmaker from Moscow warned the U.S. against positioning troops in Eastern Europe. NATO will take all necessary measures to protect and defend all allies, including by reinforcing the eastern part of the alliance. We will always respond to any deterioration of our security environment, including through strengthening our collective defense, NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg said in a statement. I agree. Let NATO do its job. I mean, that's where I stand on this. Like, Biden already approved third-party sales of our weapons, of U.S.-made weapons, to essentially go towards that area to be used in the defense of the Ukraine. He already blessed off on that. But as far as committing actual troops, I can't agree with this. I think this is a stretch. It's too far. You know, we could do our best to support, which we've done so much to support NATO throughout the years. But here's the thing. NATO is actually finally stepping up, honestly. I'm actually kind of surprised they're doing this much. To strengthen borders. To just basically tell, like, Putin, if you do this, you're going to have a group of allies coming after you. Now, whether it's one of those things, it's almost like a standoff, a Mexican standoff. It's kind of like, who's going to make the first move? Like, is Putin actually going to do this? If he does, will NATO actually respond? Because if they do, we go into World War III, essentially.
I think you'll do it.
I don't.
You don't think so?
I don't. I really don't. I think Putin's going to, I think he's going to flex a little bit, but then he's going to find a way to just kind of stand down, some way he can still save face, because Putin's all about that. Putin's not one of those guys that likes to be made to look stupid.
Like if he was taking his plane to China or something and they didn't bring up the stairs to let him get off with the plane, that type of a deal.
I don't even remember that. What is this now?
It's what happened to Obama when he went over there to China, where they didn't bring the stairs out to let him walk down. You don't remember that?
No.
Yeah.
They forgot to bring this. So what did he do?
He went out the back.
I mean, hey. It's kind of like, we don't want you here. Go back to America.
Get in the slide.
Well, let me be clear. I can't find the stairs, so we're going to go home. Bye-bye. Oh, my God. Offers include allies are sending more ships and jets to enhance NATO defensive deployments in Eastern Europe, a strong sign of allied solidarity. F-16 jets, troops to Romania, F-35 jets to Bulgaria, frigate head. Here's the thing, though. I would be very interested in seeing what their total amassed forces actually consist of. Like, how much are we talking here? Because I'm seeing single-digit numbers, like 3 F-16s, 5 F-35s. Well, I mean, Russia has a lot of troops and equipment. is this really just like a speed bump? Is this like a speed bump? I don't know.
I don't know. What's the benefit for Russia going into the Ukraine?
You know, I don't know a lot about the subject. I won't even lie to you about it. As far
oil
as
and gas,
I don't know. I
gaining more territory.
I think expansionism. It's got to be. This is one of those things like the Balkans, the wars there. I've never really researched or studied about those. I need to get a better understanding of that. But I mean, Putin. I mean, I remember back when we were still in Afghanistan. Putin went after Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
Like, did he invade? I think he did. It's been years, man.
Yeah.
It's been years. But Putin has been trying to expand slowly but surely. You know, it's just one of these things of that's what Putin does. Russian lawmaker Andrei Kartopov told Interfax that the Kremlin would respond appropriately if the U.S. deploys troops in the region, according to Reuters. Putin knows, like, if the U.S. troops go over there, if the presence is there, any U.S. troops get killed, Russia's got blood on their hands. Like, this could be legitimately something that triggers another world war.
Mm-hmm.
Because honestly, right now, it's between America, China, and Russia. America, China, and Russia, three main superpowers right now. Australia's in lockdown, or they'd be here with us as well. They'd be like, "Oh, mate, where you tell?" He's like, "You're in camps." No, you're not. You're not a superpower anymore. Sorry. No. I'm just Sorry, mate. But that's what's going on there. So we're gonna see Biden's talking about sending the 5,000 U.S. troops. There's a lot of blowback on social media. There are a lot of people standing up there saying, nope, don't do this. Don't commit troops. This is not our fight.
Yeah.
We should have nothing to do with this, and I am in agreement with it. I think Matt Walsh tweeted something. I'm trying to find it. He actually, like, I'm really surprised. Let me see.
You know, from a financial standpoint, it's a terrible idea.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, how much more money can we add to our deficit?
I think that's a good point. Where is it? Where is it? Did Amory King get pulled down on Instagram again? Don't tell me he got pulled down on Instagram again. Where's it at? Amory posted the thing from Matt Walsh's tweet. Here we go. The Amory King. He changed it again. Okay, so this is from Matt Walsh. He works over at the Daily Wire. Very intelligent guy. And he says, Ukraine is not our country and not our problem. Anyone who would risk a war with Russia for the sake of some random country 6,000 miles away is a fool or a psychopath or both. Move to Ukraine and enlist in the army if you care so much. Our sons don't need to die for this bullshit. I mean, I'm in agreement with him.
Mm-hmm.
I am in 100% in agreement with him.
Yeah, and I think Trump, when he was in office, gave Ukraine like $250 million in lethal aid.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's not like we haven't made our contributions to their military.
Well, and the other part of it is like, what do we owe them though? Like, I'm so sick and tired of like, what's America doing?
Yeah.
You know, I get the same thing on like my Instagram. She's like, well, what are you doing about this? Like, it's not my problem. I'm not doing anything.
Look, I go to the gym.
I know. What do you want from me?
I like the opera.
I'm not sure what that has to do with Ukraine, but we'll go with that. But yeah, I agree. It's just one of those things that America continuously is looked at as, what are you doing? And it's like, nothing. It's none of our fucking business.
You can't police the world.
God, no. Absolutely not. That's what NATO was for.
I know.
Or the UN, at least, and it's just garbage.
We have our own border issues.
Jesus Christ. This is what kills me about this. Biden will send, he's talking about sending 5,000 troops there.
Yeah.
What about our border, our southern border?
It's terrible.
Oh, and I got some news back. This
How
is
about
how
our gas prices.
This is how screwed up our elected officials are. I posted on my other account before it got banned and on my new one, hn-burk-11b, about how you need to call your state reps if you're at the southern border.
Yeah.
Well, they put out an official statement now as far as the military down there, basically saying that everything that we've said is lies. Everyone's been paid accordingly. Really? Suicides were not their fault. The troops have equipment. This is why I'd say, hey, don't enlist. Get out of the National Guard. Fuck them. If these political leaders don't want to ensure that their soldiers are taken care of when they utilize them for border missions and shit like that, don't serve.
Now, you were getting firsthand information from people that were actually down there.
Spoke with over 20 different soldiers.
Yeah.
One of them is also a personal friend of mine who's an officer in the Guard. And he says, oh, yeah. He's like, they're owed a lot of back pay, or they're not being paid appropriately. Like they're being paid, portions of what they're owed. So when this statement came out, it was actually from one of the state representatives I spoke to. And I guarantee this piece of shit didn't interview anybody. I guarantee he just took the announcement or the official statement from the National Guard General and say, oh, no, well, hey, this is what they're saying. It's good. It's like, have you done any investigating? That's kind of your job as a state representative. So I got the soundbite from it. I listened to it or I read it, and I'm just like, this doesn't surprise me. It doesn't surprise me.
Who was the guy that said that none of that was true?
No. This is a statement from the actual. Let me pull it up for you right now. My buddy sent it to me this morning. The state rep you talked to. Here's what it basically says, and it's gonna piss you off. Setting the record straight on Operation Lone Star, Colonel Rita Holton, Texas Military Department, Austin, Texas. In recent weeks, the Texas Military Department has been the subject of scurrilous accusations by seemingly reputable media sources, specifically allegations raised related to the department's activation of military personnel to support Operation Lone Star, a state active duty mission related, blah, 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 blah. After multiple failed attempts to correct the record with these outlets, the Texas Military Department wants to set the record straight to ensure accurate reporting on this mission. Oh, you're going to set the record straight? So it's literally their word against yours. What makes your word have any more credibility than the soldiers on the ground?
Yeah.
And the other thing is, why would they lie? I know. Here's the thing. I know soldiers are going to bitch. I know they're going to whine. They're going to moan. I get it. I was a soldier too. When I've got over 20 different soldiers coming to me saying virtually the same thing that are not in the same units, but that's what they call sourcing your intel. I remember when I worked with military intelligence over in one deployment, it was basically if you had 3 different sources that were coming together that lived in different locations and you could prove they had no association and they were corroborating the same type of intelligence, then they pushed forward on it. So, okay, this could potentially be actionable. Let's look at it. It just basically meant let's investigate this further. Mm-hmm. So when I have over 20 soldiers coming to me and also Air Force personnel.
Sounds credible.
There's something there. It is clear the reports have gleaned information from anonymous sources and unverified documents. No, I've seen pictures. I've seen the pictures of the living conditions. Why don't you show those pictures of dudes in 3 bunks highs and 18-wheeler truck beds? Why don't you show those pictures? Jeez. The fuck are you talking about? Allegations relate to the state's mobilization, deployment, and operations in support of Operation Lone Star. They specifically concern the rapid deployment pay, hardship requests, suicides, blah, blah, blah. Rapid deployment. Some have attempted to compare our current disaster response effort to enduring federal overseas missions, which allows more time for planning and preparation. However, this mission is a direct response to a state-declared disaster occurring in our own backyard, requiring an immediate response. Okay, here's the deal. I don't fucking care. You should be on this. This is your job. This is what you should be training for. You're the National fucking Guard. So don't sit there and feed me a line of bullshit saying that, well, no, we weren't given adequate enough time. This is your job. This is what you do. National Guard. When something kicks off, you're there, you're mobilized, you're on your way. What do you mean you're not prepared? That's a leadership failure. So don't sit there and try and skirt your... This entire thing that I've sent is nothing but deflection and denial. There is not one single admission of any accusation where they have any kind of guilt. None. They are trying to deny and deflect and duck all they can. Ladies and gentlemen, this is why do not listen to the military, do not listen to the Texas National Guard. This is an optic used by Greg Abbott to go after Biden. And meanwhile, there's troops at the border that are having to deal with this bullshit. In May 2021, Governor Greg Abbott declared the disaster, which states, in part, the federal government has shown unwillingness to blah, 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 blah. Clearly, the state of Texas had to react to protect the Texas and the nation. Okay, yes, but again, that's your job. Mm-hmm. So don't give me any kind of excuse as to why you weren't ready. That's literally the role of the National Guard, to deploy in the state to take, or like the state National Guard, the state guard, Texas National Guard. That's kind of your job. So what you're telling me is your leadership is garbage and you weren't prepped for this. You've done no training on this. Mobilize. I mean, I know this. And the thing is, like during the Iraq War, the National Guard got deployed a lot. So don't tell me you weren't ready. Pay. There have been nebulous charges that service members are not being paid. This is inaccurate. Oh, no, it's very accurate. But listen how they quote this. While there have been administrative pay challenges, currently every service member assigned to Operation Lone Star is being paid. But note, they didn't say when or how much. Hey, if I pay you $5 and I owe you like $2,000, I can still technically say you're being paid. Following Hurricane Harvey, the agency conducted a thorough after-action review which identified issues with the pay system the agency was using at that time. Based on the review, TMD procedure and implemented a new pay system for the state according to duty missions. OLS has been by far the largest onboarding. Okay, again, this has given TMD opportunity to identify gaps in the system which are being actively addressed. So then you admit. So what the fuck is this? This has been given TMD the opportunity to identify gaps within the system which are being actively addressed. Specifically on Sunday, January 16th, pay strike teams arrived along the border, support individual service members with pay questions. You would not deploy a pay service team if there were not fuck-ups with pay. Why would you do that? Why would you send down mechanics to fix tanks that are not broken? You bunch of fucking liars. You bunch of liars. You politicians in uniforms are no worse or no better than our elected officials that are corrupted. You liars. Look, this is ridiculous. Listen to this. Suicides. In regards to 4 service member deaths, there has been misleading and false information pushed to the public without proper context, irrespective of family sensitivities and desires. Oh, nice. Try and deflect away from the fact that you had 4 suicides. I think it was actually 5 in your ranks. You're just basically saying that anyone that's saying anything, you're being very insensitive towards the families. What about you? Why did they commit suicide in the first place? Are you going to take any responsibility in that, or are you just going to try and blame it to other people, like drawing attention to the fact that there are people committing suicide?
I know.
What a slippery fucking snake this bitch is.
Heartless.
Disgusting.
Ice cold.
Now, here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. I've told you since day one, if you join the military, you're a brick in the wall. You're a number. You remember that. You are nothing to them, nor should you be. That's the way the military operates. But there are certain obligations they are there and they should be fulfilling, which is ensuring that you are paid on time, you have your proper insurance coverage, you have the equipment and training that you need. Those are obligations that they have that these people are not fulfilling. Those investigations are 2 of the 4 service members mentioned by the outlets were mobilized in support of the Operation Lone Star. That's actually not true. Those investigations are still ongoing. However, what do you mean those investigations are still ongoing? It's been months. How long does it take for you to do an investigation on a suicide? That's interesting to me.
Years.
If you actually cared and gave a fuck, it would not take months. However, there is no evidence to support an assumption that their decisions were made as a direct result of hardship denials. It would be irresponsible journalism at this point in time to tie these tragedies to Operation Lone Star. They are trying to protect their beloved operation. This is blowing up in Greg Abbott's face. In calendar year 2021, out of more than 22,000 personnel, the Texas Military Department has experienced 9 suicides within our ranks. TMD leadership has met with each of the families and is providing all available resources. Okay, you're meeting with the family. What did you do for the troopers? And here's the reason why I think that you're full of shit. I've received over 20 different freaking statements from 20 different soldiers, to include also Air Force personnel, that are saying directly opposite of what the statement is saying. So I think you're lying. I really do. Why? Because you got a history of lying.
Yeah.
So you're saying these soldiers were provided everything they needed if they required mental health? I don't believe you. Equipment and living conditions. Okay, this is where it really steamy, because I've seen the pictures. There have been accurate reports and social media posts attempting to malign and undermine Texas military department efforts to support our service members along the border. Our personnel are trained to operate and adapt in austere environments at home and abroad. As with any mission, we continue to adjust as the situation evolves. Commanders in the field have identified areas of improvement in regards to equipment and living conditions and are actively working with vendors and supply chains to execute those solutions. So then you admit there's a problem. What the fuck are you talking about, you dumb cunt? You say you literally are contradicting yourself in your statement. Are you fucking serious? Well, we don't have a problem, but commanders are identifying issues and they're actively engaging to fix them. So then there's a problem. I've seen the pictures. I've seen the living conditions. Because of our service members' outstanding work, approximately 100,000 illegal immigrants have been apprehended or referred to our partner federal and state law enforcement agencies. What's happening after that? How many of these soldiers are actually not guarding anything worth a damn, as many of them have written? One said they were guarding a lake. I had 2 people confirm they were guarding a large ranch that was owned by one of Greg Abbott's largest donors in Texas. Weird. Significant drug and weapon seizures have occurred, including the lethal drug fentanyl. How much? I want to know how much. Because it's costing taxpayers right now. And the ongoing construction of temporary barriers along the border and further deterring criminal activity. The Texas Military Department, alongside the Texas Department of Public Safety, have established a steel curtain of protection. Oh, no, this is not true at all. This is the state optics trying to freaking cover themselves to essentially say that, hey, we fucked up bad, but it's not as bad as you think. Oh, no, everything is good while the ship is sinking. Again, this comes from Colonel Rita Holton, Texas Military Department. Yeah, I believe you like I fucking believe Fauci.
Jeez.
And this was forwarded by the state representative I spoke to, who didn't do any investigation. This is why these people are fucking worthless. Fucking worthless.
Career politicians.
It's
like the only thing they worry about is getting reelected.
Yeah.
That's why you have to have small business owners and people that actually have stake in the community to really lead the community. Someone that say, hey, I'm not going to be in here for 25 years. I'm going to be in here for 6 years, 8 years, and then
it's just funny. It's funny to me. I spoke to the state rep on the fucking phone. He's like, well, I haven't heard anything. I was like, okay. He's like, well, then these soldiers need to call their state rep. So I made a series of Facebook posts, Instagram posts that go call them. Then he sends my buddy this. My buddy Ford is like, this guy doesn't give a shit. I was like, yeah. You would think, as a state representative, it is your job to essentially be on the lookout for things that your constituency wants you to investigate.
Yeah.
I told him, there's been a lot of people saying, hey, there are issues here. Go investigate. He hasn't even investigated. I guarantee he hasn't investigated. What a worthless fucking schmuck. What a worthless fucking schmuck. Yeah. But again, it doesn't surprise me. This does not surprise me.
It's stuff like that that's going to get Alan West elected.
I think so.
The next governor.
And Alan West will actually, I'm going to vote for him. I think Alan West would actually give a shit more about this.
I do too.
I think he knows. He's tracking. He's tracking what's going on.
As somebody who's listened to him in person a few times, I really, really like the guy. So he's got my support.
I think he's definitely going to take it from Abbott. Abbott's just basically shot himself in the foot. He's had, Abbott almost fooled me on this one.
Yeah.
If the troops hadn't come forward and started DMing me on my Instagram, I never would have known this.
Kind of reminds me of, who's the governor of Georgia? Is it Kemp? Was that his name?
Ralph. Oh, old one?
No. He's a Republican.
Oh, fuck.
He's just kind of a shitty governor over in Georgia. That's what it kind of reminds me of. Liar.
Well, I mean, Abbott's had ample time to fix this Operation Lone Star issue. It's been going on for months now.
Yeah.
But then again, I've seen pictures where these guys are living in three bunk beds stacked inside of an 18-wheeler bed trailer. No AC, no heating. We're talking about guys that have no Kevlars, helmets, no ammunition, no rifles, no body armor. They're living on MREs. Now, here's the thing. People are like, well, we were given very little time. Well, this is your job.
Yeah.
This is what this is what you're here for.
Yeah.
How are you not ready for this? And if you are not ready for this, there needs to be leadership held accountable on this, saying, why the fuck are you not conducting these types of drills and training? Excuse me for having high standards.
It should be all they do.
Exactly. But I know what goes on. I know what goes on at these friggin' drills on the weekend. It's bullshit. It's just, that's why I did 1 year and I was like, I'm fucking done. I can't take you people. I was like, this is the most unprofessional bullshit I've ever seen. I even had guys that I'd served with in that National Guard unit a year ago hitting me up saying, hey, what they're saying is right. 100% right. I had fucking Border Patrol messaging me. Border Patrol agents saying, hey, off the record, 100% right. That's why I know this is all bogus from the department.
Yeah.
The military department. It's bogus. They're lying. Why would I have freaking Border Patrol agents hitting me up saying, hey, John, yeah, they're actually kind of full of shit. This whole thing's a fucking optic. It's a farce. They're not being utilized correctly.
Yeah.
I just think it's bullshit.
Yeah, I think
the troops deserve. Here's the thing: if you're going to utilize the troops, and I'm all for it, that's what the Guard is there for. That's what these people enlist for. They want to serve their state. Well, if you're going to use them, you use them accordingly and effectively. You don't send them down there. You pull them away from their 9-to-5 jobs, their families, and you waste their fucking time. That's bullshit. Either you do it right or you don't do it at all. And this is bullshit. You want to send them down there to fucking conduct reconnaissance shit like that? That's fine. But actively utilize them, not treat them like shit, and especially with pay issues. Jesus Christ. All right, moving on. Again, if you're in the Texas National Guard, you need to call your state representative and hound the fuck out of them. Post on social media about it. Tag them on social media. Harass the fuck out of them. That is their job. And if they are not listening to you, get louder. And don't stop. Such bullshit. BLM DC complains that shot police officers treated as heroes in tearjerker press conference. What's the BLM? Go figure. The Black Lives Matter chapter in Washington, D.C. expressed indignation that police officers who were shot in the line of duty are automatically treated as heroes after an officer was shot and wounded Sunday night in northwestern D.C. I'm sorry. Does that hurt your little black feelings? You're not like that? We don't even know what color the officer was. You just hate them by virtue of their freaking job. Now, here's the thing. I don't like all officers either, because if you enforce the vaccine mandates and the business lockdowns in New York City and you were an officer, you're a piece of shit. So I really don't give a... Here's the thing. If that was one of the officers that got shot that actually enforced those mandates, I wouldn't give a fuck. I wouldn't. I'm not going to lie about that. You willingly put people into lockdown and you stole people's livelihood. don't give a shit about you or your life. I don't, because you didn't give a fuck about theirs. Why should we give a fuck about yours? That's the way it works. By putting on that badge does not make you a good person. But I don't know about these specific officers. But a suspect is still at large after opening fire on officers on the streets in D.C.'s Petworth neighborhood, the Metropolitan Police Department said. One officer, who has not been named, suffered non-life-threatening injuries from being shot at and was treated and released from the hospital, police said. As the scene was still unfolding, Black Lives Matter DC took the opportunity to promote its hashtag Stop MPD campaign and warn against the spread of propaganda. These people are turning like Cop Watch. BLM is turning into Cop Watch or Cop Block, whatever it was.
Cock block.
Cop Block. just stupidity. But here's the thing. Good job, BLM. Keep fucking running your cock sheaths, because the more you do it, the more you are turning against you. And I love that. The more that, and here's the thing, like, I don't like the BLM.
Yeah.
I think these people are Marxists at heart.
It's a sham.
It's all bullshit.
Yeah,
all that
bullshit.
money that they have basically corralled from people across the world, no less, was not spent on helping promote Black Lives Matter.
They've suckered so many people. There's like a handful of people that have gotten so rich and powerful off of this fake movement.
Well, that's what happens with these freaking socialists.
They don't care one single bit about.
You got your Hassan Pikers out there basically mooching off the Zoomer generation because they're that fucking stupid. Yeah. You have the BLM Marxists out there spreading nothing but propaganda, pushing for communism. It's just kind of like, what? Where do you people come from? How stupid do you have to be?
Yeah.
BLM tweets out saying, this is the point we've been making for months. Look at the reaction and coverage tonight. Tearjerker press conference and proclamations of heroes coming soon. Imagine if people knew these folks' names. Being black in D.C. is more dangerous than any job. Oh, I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is. Everything's about you and your skin color. Here's the other thing. Let's have a conversation. How many of your own do you kill? Like, please, stop with this bullshit of, like, you're just so innocent. That's where that meme of he didn't do nothing comes from. Because that's what, every single black shooting that happens, you got the fat, overweight mom who's sitting there talking about how her son was gunned down by the cops or whatever because he was doing something illegal and then, like, was threatening the cops and they had to shoot him. And she's like, oh, he was such a good boy, he didn't do nothing. Then he's got a rap sheet a fucking mile long. And we've seen this repeatedly. So that's why these words fall on deaf ears now for the most part when you come out there and you say this shit about, oh, he was innocent. It's like, no, I'm willing to see, okay, what happened?
Yeah.
Like, what happened? Was the cop at fault or was the black kid at fault? Let's look at this. They've gotten it right sometimes, they've got it wrong sometimes. But these BLM tweets are so ignorant because now you're trying to position yourself as if, oh, it's just so hard being black in D.C. Really? Really? Liberal D.C.? Really? Come on. Come on. You can't be serious with this bullshit. Nobody's buying your shtick anymore.
I don't think it gets any more liberal than
DC.
Yeah.
I know, absolutely.
If
you're black or a minority, you get treated like a god. Good grief. You can walk down the street and try and flex your black minority card on anybody, and all these white liberals will just bow down to you.
Mm-hmm.
People are getting sick of this bullshit. Or it's the other ones like, oh, he was on his way to college. He was going to cure cancer. Yeah, I'm sure he was. Well, by the way, he just raped a girl and held another guy at gun. But he was on his way to curing cancer. Shut the fuck up. Tearjerker press conferences and proclamations. Oh, let's get Jesse Jackson on there, BLM. Let's get your boy Jackson or Sharpton spinning people up. Hyping get the fuck out of here.
I can't believe anybody still takes Jesse Jackson.
These are grifters. These are black grifters.
Al Sharpton, seriously.
Yeah.
Like total grifters.
Yeah, they get up there. I mean, my God. Case in point, George Floyd. You even had old Joe Biden, kid sniffing Biden up there. George Floyd's death was more impactful than the assassination of Martin Luther King Jr. I'm sorry, are you retarded?
Yeah.
You're talking about one of the prominent figures in the mainstream world during the 60s that essentially paved the way for the black vote and equal treatment of minority. Are you fucking retarded? Oh, by the way, George Floyd was a piece of shit drug dealing, counterfeiting, passing off of just a horrible, and I'm not saying that justifies his death. I'm not saying that. But if you want to compare two fucking figures, how dare you? Another stupid white liberal that does not know what the fuck he's talking about. But the reason he does this, ladies and gentlemen, is because this is what liberals want to hear. They want to hear this. Because George Floyd is somebody that the contemporary movement can identify with. Oh, we have our own Martin Luther King. Really? Is that why God struck his fucking mural with lightning? I mean, come on. I mean, come on. Come on. Are you serious? You can't be serious with this. God strikes the mural, destroys it. It's like, if that's not a clear sign that your martyr is probably burning in hell right now, maybe you should wake the hell up.
Get a Moses poke his head through the clouds. Knock it off.
And the devil's down there like, oh, I had these people fooled. George
Knock that
Floyd.
shit off. You get us all killed.
Martin Luther King was targeted by J. Edgar Hoover's FBI. They tried accusing this guy of being a communist. He had the government working against him. He had almost every white person in America working against him. But George Floyd holds a pregnant woman at gunpoint. He's a bouncer at a club. He's a piece of shit human being. And this is the comparison that you want to make between the impact of somebody's death? Get the fuck out of it. You can't be serious with this. But this is what white liberals want to hear. So please, do not tell me about how hard it is to be a black person in D.C. Tell me how difficult it is to be a white person and listen to your nonstop bullshit. And here's the deal. I don't give a fuck if it offends you or not. I don't listen to you anymore. I don't listen to your complaints. I don't listen to your whining, because that's all the BLM has done. When you're out there blocking roads, fucking hindering people's lives, here's the deal. Like, your own communities, fix them. Fix them. The fuck are you talking about? It's hard to be black and get the fuck out of here. Tone deaf.
You know, the reason why they prop these people up like George Floyd is because they make money off of his name.
100%. Oh,
So,
yeah. People are waking up to the
they
grift,
care
yeah.
about George Floyd or his life or his legacy
or
or anything like
about
that.
him, yeah.
All it is about getting more money, fundraising. That's it. There, I just solved the mystery for everybody. You're welcome.
This is what it is, yeah. They're making so much money on this.
Yeah.
So much money.
So much money. I mean, why
they
would
know
they
what
stop?
works.
Yep.
They know what works.
Why would they stop? Unless the media finally comes to their senses and says that's not entirely accurate with their
media is. I mean, it's
but they're
CNN,
not.
MSNBC, all this. It's more of this wokeness, progressive stuff.
Yeah.
If you're not on board with this, then you must be a horrible human being.
Yeah, they're probably thinking
if you
that
question the narrative for whatever reason, even if it's not statistically backed, you're a bad human.
Yeah, at CNN, they're probably like, people are watching because we're talking about it, so they're making money off of it.
Oh yeah.
So
it's generating those ratings.
That's it.
Those clicks, they're getting the ad revenue. Absolutely.
It's not about integrity.
This comes, and remember how I talked about a few shows ago. Watch the MSM, watch MSNBC, watch CNN, watch these leftist movements, these leftist MSN networks shift their focus and become not to the right, but more central, more neutral, I guess, or more center-fed when it comes to the news. This comes to us from Fox News, but NBC's Chuck Todd comes out and says Biden no longer seen as competent and effective. Todd cited a new NBC poll in predicting Democrats were heading for a shellacking in the midterm elections. NBC anchor Chuck Todd said Sunday that President Biden was in trouble with the American electorate following the release of a new NBC poll last week showing dismal approval ratings to kick off the midterm election year. During the opening segment on Meet the Press, Todd, citing the poll, declared Biden's 43% approval rating showed he'd lost his identity and was no longer seen as competent and effective in the eyes of voters, spelling a potential shellacking for Democrats in November. Liberal media members heap praise on Biden following first solo press conference in months. Quite the change. President Biden's news conference on Wednesday was designed to kick off a second-year reset of his presidency, recapture his political identity, if you will. But our new NBC News poll suggests that Mr. Biden does need a reset because he's lost his identity a bit, Todd said, referring to Biden's heavily planned Wednesday or heavily penned.
He's lost his damn mind.
I don't understand this identity thing. That's who
lost
he is.
His identity.
You voted for this guy. I don't know what you're talking
crazy.
about. Oh, he's fucking.
Yeah,
Alec killed a guy.
Alec killed a guy.
Biden sniffing kids. I mean, I don't know what you want to say.
81 million people vote. Okay.
My ass.
Okay.
My dick. It was rigged. It was rigged, I say. We do not have 81 million retarded voters in our. Yeah, we do. They're called Democrats. I don't know.
Well, I mean, there's not 81 million of them. I mean,
I don't know anymore, man. I just don't know. He's lost his identity. Here on NBC, President Biden just has lost his identity. No, he's still got the same identity.
Did I put it in my tan pants?
Somebody's shitting my pants. The first thing he does in office, he cuts the Keystone Pipeline, eliminates 10,000 jobs. Oh, I had this moron tweet me on Twitter. It's Sergeant Savage. And this is a tweet. Like, this is how stupid liberal. I don't like saying just liberals because there's a lot of stupid Republicans as well. Because
prices
oh my
skyrocket.
God, just
Inflation.
the dumbness, the ignorance of this. This is, and she tweets this. She says, "I'll happily take responsibility for voting for pro-Biden." And here's the graphic that she tweets in response: 531,000 jobs added in October, 5 million added since January. That's actually wrong. That's a lie. He didn't add anything.
No.
Jobs were coming back. States were reopening. Had nothing to do with Biden.
Underperformed.
Which actually we could also blame partially on Trump, because Trump did nothing when these governors shut their states down.
Yeah.
So much for constitutionally based.
No.
But to sit there and then accredit this to Biden, are you fucking stupid? 36,000 down for the first time in history, down 4 points. What the fuck? That's a lie. 4.6 unemployment down. Really? While 4 million are unemployed? Are you serious? Where are you getting this from? 70,000 adults fully vaccinated. I don't know why you use that as something good. Oh, good job. You basically tried to unconstitutionally mandate people are forced to get the jab.
Mm-hmm.
These are things that you're proud of? This is how stupid you people are.
Full stupid.
Full stupid.
Full on.
But this is oh my God, the unemployment's at a record low. Do you know why that is? Because there have actually been more people that have lost their jobs due to these illegal vaccine mandates. But also, they said that you cannot go on unemployment if you will not take the jab and you get fired. You can't go on unemployment. Those numbers are not being calculated in. So naturally, you have people going back to work. You got a shitload more being fired or quitting over the vaccine mandates, but they're not counting those numbers. They're manipulating the data to fool you. I mean, you can't be this stupid. But I mean, they're willfully being this because, again, it's identity politics.
Apparently, you can be that stupid.
They're never going to come full circle and admit when they're wrong.
No.
I mean, some Democrats are, and I'll give them props for that. I respect the hell out of that.
Well, you're not going to hear from them, that's for sure.
Fuck no. MSM's not going to cover that.
Hell no.
But these people out there, they are literally doubling down on these manipulated data numbers simply because they don't want Joe Biden to fail because it's going to make Trump look good. Mm-hmm. So you would instead believe a willful lie, not do any research because you got your head in the political sand. Because God forbid, maybe you fucked up and voted for the wrong idiot. I mean, come on. You can't be serious. I mean, you can, but I mean, you can. You can. It's Twitter. Twitter is an echo chamber of the left. It's just more
I don't believe
propaganda.
anybody that posts anything about Democrats on there anyway. I just imagine there's probably some big room in China where they just have people putting out propaganda.
We're going to have to believe this bullshit.
Oh, you are going to know.
You're going to know real quick. Biden is the best player they've got.
Oh, yeah.
It's
terrible. I mean,
one thing that does worry me, though,
dummy,
is the collusion shit they pushed for the Steele dossier with the Russian hoax with Trump and stuff. It does concern me that we're doing the same thing with Hunter Biden and Joe Biden for China.
Is it the same thing?
No. I'm saying though, I hope it doesn't become that. As far as because here's the thing: sometimes there's a seed of truth, a kernel of truth that gets planted. It's like, okay, let's look into this. But then all the conspiracy theorism that comes out starts fucking graying and mucking it up and distorting the actual facts. Does that make sense? And that's what concerns me.
So it seems like there's a lot more credible information about Hunter Biden. Mm-hmm. Like going all the way back to the Ukraine.
Yeah.
And then you get the FBI who has
they're pulling out
his laptop, and they hang on to it. Now they've had it for what, over 2 years?
Well, it's because the FBI is working for fucking Biden. That's why the FBI should be abolished.
And then you have all these dealings in China. I mean, there's a lot more.
Yeah.
There's a paper trail that leads to the Biden family. There's just a thing out here that said they've been enriched $31 million. His family has since he's been in office.
Doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Doesn't surprise me at all.
Doesn't surprise anybody. And these are things that go on regularly.
I hope that people are not going to add to, or Democrat, here's the thing, think about this. Adding to something to almost make it unbelievable could be like a Democrat tactic, to where it's kind of if there is any credibility to this, Democrats through conservative means are going to add to this story to the point where it becomes unbelievable. It's no, that's just too far. I can see it happen.
Biden's been a scumbag his entire career, going all the way back to the late 80s where he was running for president, and he gets up and he touts his academic career.
Yeah. Then he lied about
the top half of his class.
Yeah. Turns out
he had 3 degrees.
Yeah.
And all this, and then he had to
he's
come
got
back.
a history of this. Yeah.
And then he had to come back and basically say that he lied about it, but instead of saying he lied, he said his memory failed him. And you could hear him.
It did.
You could hear him. He was very clear about his accolades.
Oh yeah,
he's a liar.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, how is this guy still in politics? That's how it's like.
He's just good at that.
Like Fauci and it's like the career politicians, man. They have to go.
Well, I watched a sound clip from Fauci back in the 80s and talked about that how children could essentially catch AIDS by being next to somebody with AIDS. This is how Fauci was a fearmonger back then. Like, he was speaking about things. Here's the thing. If we look at the history, if we look at the track record of what Fauci did in the 80s with the AIDS pandemic, we look at what he's doing now, he's doing the same thing. He's saying one thing and then having to go back and change it later. Instead, Fauci should just shut the fuck up.
He shouldn't even be in there.
No, he shouldn't.
He shouldn't be practicing medicine.
No.
I wouldn't let that guy look at my dog.
I'm kind of disappointed that Trump even let him stay to the length he did.
Honestly, yeah.
Trump had no problem getting rid of other cabinet members that were not loyal, that were disingenuous, that were liars. But Fauci got to stay. It's like weird. But then again, I think it was also the position that Fauci was kind of looked at. Trump was basically saying, like, if we have Fauci here, they're not going to look at me. They're going to look at Fauci. So let's put the spotlight on Fauci and see if he can actually take this ball and run with it. Therefore, Trump's not going to be at fault. If Trump fires Fauci, Trump's in the spotlight as the mainstream guy of making sure that we combat this COVID shit. But now, this new article just came out that the UK is essentially telling their citizens, COVID's like the flu, learn to live with it.
Yeah,
Thank you. Been saying that since day fucking one.
And everybody's now saying that the cloth masks don't work. The only one that works is the N95 mask that you have to have suction to your face.
Yeah, and they said there was like a 5% chance of even like stopping transmissibility.
I've been saying that since this whole fucking thing started.
It's bullshit. But yeah, we still do it. We still do it. That's how stupid our country is.
Yeah, if Trump would have fired Fauci in the first place, as soon as he got in there and had somebody else in there, I think we would have been in a totally different position. Like a competent.
I think now.
What's that dude's name? Malone? That was on Rogan's podcast?
Yeah,
him.
Oh, they banned him. They censored him like fucking crazy.
Imagine if that guy was in charge of this thing. He'd have been
it'd be very interesting to see something like that, to where you actually have somebody with some common fucking sense take the reins of leadership and say, hey, this is what we're doing. This is what direction we're going. Yeah. As they should. We don't have leadership that does that now. So.
Nope.
But yeah, the UK is basically coming out and saying, hey, COVID's here. Learn to live with it. They've lifted all restrictions. Boris Johnson made the announcement. I think it was last week. And now Australians are just over there kind of looking at them like, oh, can we get some of that freedom over here, mate? We've kind of got the concentration camps, sir.
I know. They got full-on concentration camps.
I shouldn't say concentration camps because I think it's disingenuous to those that actually were. But they're camps. They're COVID camps.
And
basically,
they can't leave.
There was a video that I shared months ago where essentially one of these workers was telling somebody that was there in quarantine that if you step across that yellow line, you're going to get a $5,000 fine. It's like, well, yeah, it's crazy to me. So, I don't know.
I still see people walking around here, though, with masks on.
Oh, I still see them wearing them in the cars. We went to the Opera House.
In the car.
Went to the fucking Opera House. They require a mask the entire time. I wore a mask to get in. Then as soon as we sat down, I took it off. And my girlfriend's like, we're the only ones not wearing masks. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Like, I don't fucking care.
Be the first ones.
Yeah. Be the first ones. Be the leaders.
Yeah.
Like, I'll wear it walking in. But then once we walked in, I got my glass of wine and I took my mask off and I just walked around like slowly sipping my wine.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm tired. I'll play your game to an extent just to get in. I understand that.
It doesn't make any sense.
Fuck you.
Now that everybody's getting on the same page.
This doesn't make sense to me. Like, we're wearing masks and we're sitting literally 6 inches from other people. This does not make sense. Christ almighty. And here's the other part. The players on the stage, the actors and actresses, are not wearing masks, but they actually had the band on the stage with them in the background wearing masks.
Oh, God.
What?
Power trip.
Just the stupidity of this is so dumb, but fuck.
If you can smell a fart with that thing on,
does it really work?
Does it really work?
Does it really work?
No, it doesn't.
I've had COVID twice. It sucked, but don't get me wrong. It wasn't even as bad as the flu.
No. The second time it wasn't bad.
People are dying. I don't fucking care.
Like, my whole family just got it.
Yeah.
Sorry. Everybody at my kid's school just got it.
You're welcome. I help boost their antibodies. You're welcome.
Yeah, but it could have come.
You've seen the articles now that basically talk about how the CDC is saying that you have a stronger immune system now due to the natural antibody. It's almost like that's been said from day. Well, I shouldn't say day one, but
Alec killed a guy.
Alec fucking got the antibodies too. No. It's the truth, though. Like, fuck me. Like, okay, here's the thing. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have never been in the military, what we're dealing with right now is what it's like being in the military. It makes no fucking sense. Nobody's making any changes. If you speak up, you're going to be shit canned. It's like, no, we're doing it because that's the way we've always done it. What? And you're sitting there like, hey, you're trying to like be the outside the box thing. It's like, excuse me, Sergeant Major. Why are we doing that? Hey, Sergeant, shut the fuck up. That's how we always done it. You're going to shut the fuck up and do it. Like, this doesn't make any sense. We could do it better. Hey, you got common sense. It's going to get you in trouble. You better shut the fuck up.
Shut that cocksucker up.
You better shut that cock sheath. Bro, it's just the exact same.
Yeah.
So if you feel like you want to blow your brains out from dealing with these COVID bullshit restrictions, it's the same in the military. Case in point, you can't walk on the grass because if you do, you'll kill it, like in the little footprints of where you're at, where you work. But in the morning, you can do PT on it. You can run on it. You can do sit-ups, push-ups. But you can't walk on it during the day because you might kill it. Fucking what? Fucking what?
Huh.
This is why we have PTSD. It wasn't Iraq and Afghanistan. It was the dumb shit that you put us through stateside. Ah!
That's why we have Shell Shock CBD.
This episode is brought to you by Shell Shock CBD. Feeling the need to fucking put a fucking statement out of the world talking about how stupid this fucking administration is and turn some friends into enemies. Try some Shell Shock CBD and then do it because at least you can calm the fuck down and then fuck those lip. Nah, I'm just playing. I'm just saying. This is so stupid to me. It's so dumb. We've gone beyond the realm of common fucking sense. This article comes to us from CNN Politics. Biden leaves Democrats hanging as midterms burst into full swing. I'm telling you, come November, it is game the fuck on. It is game the fuck on. It's coming. There's going to be a serious Democrat loss coming because Democrats have lost faith in their own party. My God, you couldn't even get the Build Back Better bill passed. You had Sinema and freaking what's-his-face? Manchin. Like, destroy that, stop that code. Like, wow. Like, your own party is kind of like, dude, because for a while there, Democrats like, oh, the GOP is in trouble. There's infighting, blah, blah. Meanwhile, Democrats, like, you're imploding over there. You're imploding. And I love it. I'm just like, oh, yeah. Keep going.
Yeah.
But again, this comes to us from CNN Politics. President Joe Biden spotted Representative Sean Patrick Maloney on the White House campus last June and called out to the House Democratic campaign chair loudly enough for several others to hear. He says, I really want to talk to you about the races, he shouted. A week later, at the Cherry Festival in Traverse City, Michigan, Biden leaned into Senator Gary Peters, who's in charge of Democratic Senate campaigns, with the same promise. He's always cared most about Senate races, Biden told the Michigan Democrat, and he wanted to have a meeting, an hour at least, to talk about helping his party hold the chamber in 2022. Maloney's staff eagerly followed up. So did Peters, and then they followed up again and again. 7 months later, there are still no meetings on the books. You know why? And I said the same thing for Kamala Harris. They don't want anything to do with Biden. Biden is cancer in the DNC right now.
Did you see Beto O'Rourke said that he wanted Biden to stay away from his campaign?
No.
Yeah.
Just proves it.
Yeah.
They don't want Biden anywhere. That's why Kamala's been kind of AWOL. That's why AOC and the Jihad Squad have not linked their wagons to him. Instead, they've actually called him out on. Biden is going down in flames, and any DNC politician that wants to maintain a career over there are going to get the fuck away. Do not come. That's why these meetings, here's the thing. You know why the GOP is so fascinated with Trump's penis? Because when Trump makes an endorsement, usually it's going to do them some good.
Yeah.
And that's how politics are, regardless of who the political figure is. When they generate a lot of press, when they have a lot of leeway and pull, especially in a political party, they're going to seek those endorsements. Biden is the exact opposite. Biden is cancer. They don't want anything to do with him. His ratings are garbage right now. Now, here's the thing. If Biden was doing phenomenally well, of course, they want him to come campaign, but
that would mean he would have done something
worth
noting.
Maloney's staff eagerly followed up. So did Peters. They followed up again and again. 7 months later, there's still no meetings on the books. They're not the only ones who've been left waiting. In 36 exclusive interviews with CNN, top Democratic politicians, campaign officials, and operatives say the White House political operation is heading into the midterms unprepared, unresponsive, and even to the basic request for help for information. Biden advisors say the president talks politics with House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, but people familiar with both leaders say any campaign talk has been brief, and Democratic leaders have significant concerns with the White House's approach to getting the president to break through. It's not just that Biden's approval ratings have tumbled. Those in charge of keeping Democrats in power doubt that Biden's team understands how to improve his political fate, and with it, theirs. It's hard for me to believe that the president knows how little his political shop is doing to support Democratic majorities in the Senate and the House. All of us believe that the president will be shocked to learn how little the White House political team is doing, said one senior Democratic elected official in Washington, voicing widespread worries about the midterms. We just know that Joe Biden, and we know how much he cares about, or how little he cares about this stuff. Senior Democrats, including some White House aides, described the West Wing lacking both a political strategy and the discipline to execute one. Focus groups are giving party operatives nightmares. Biden is coming across as an old and absent... Guys, this is from CNN. This is from CNN, people. Keep that in mind. This is coming from CNN. This is not Fox. This is not Breitbart. This is not a right-leaning conservative outlet. This is CNN pushing this out there. Like, fuck. You know you're in trouble. And guess what? I'm here for it. Oh, baby, I'm here for it.
You know what? Still, I hate CNN just because
CNN's garbage. Yeah.
They've been
but this is what they're going to try and do. They're going to try and steer the ship that is raking along this freaking iceberg of misinformation back centered.
Those people are such
because they see Fauci falling. They see the CDC is now going against the narrative of the left. And this is what happens. The CDC said one thing, and the left bought into it hook, line, and sinker because that's what they do. Because it's all about grandstanding and virtue signaling about how altruistically good they are and how bad Republicans and conservatives are. Oh, you're racist. You're horrible. Well, this is what happened. The CDC for the last 2 fucking years, a year and a half, has steered the narrative one direction. Conservatives have said, no, this is wrong. We shouldn't be doing it this way. Democrats have doubled down on it, talking about how good they are. If you don't get vaccinated, you're a horrible human being. You're disgusting, yada, yada, yada. Well, guess what happened now? Now the CDC is saying if you had COVID and you haven't got the vaccine, you're actually more immune to it. Natural immunity. They talked about herd immunity like 6 months into this pandemic.
Over in Sweden.
Yeah, but now CDC is starting to change directions because the science is shifting apparently. And now CNN is doing everything they can do. Yeah, science. Everything they can do to shift or to change the plotting or the course of the ship they have steered. And then some of them are not. They're just willingly letting that ship crash into the iceberg, and they're going to sink with it. This is why CNN is trying to go more center line. That's all they're doing. It's all they're doing to try and save face. Rachel Maddow gets on there. You want to talk about banning people for misinformation? Why the fuck is she still up there? We have the sound clips of her saying getting vaccinated will stop this vaccine. You're immune to it. That was a lie.
Total lie.
That was a lie. You know why? Because they bought hook, line, and sinker into government propaganda from the hashtag experts. I say in loose quotation marks. This is why we don't trust your experts. And that list of 260 doctors that want to have fucking Joe Rogan censored, you know a vast majority of them are not actual viral-based doctors. We're talking about dentists.
Yeah.
You know as much about viruses as I do. Shut the fuck up and clean teeth, you cuck. The fuck do you know about? Get the fuck out of here. Here's the one thing I do know. I don't trust your experts, and I certainly don't trust your science.
Nope.
Because you have flip-flopped so fucking much. You know what I do trust? My ability to have some common sense fucking thing based upon what I see around me. Anecdotal as it may be, I'm going to base my viewpoints about what I see here local to Dallas. I don't see people dropping like flies. My nurses and friends over there in these hospitals, they're saying it's not as bad, not nearly as bad as they're making it out. Oh, it's bad. Don't get me wrong. There are people dying, but not from the causation as far as what the press and CDC and government have been pushing. Oh, the hospitals are overflowing because the federal government said you'll be on a net 30 and we will repay you if you treat it. So they take more of these fucking patients. No wonder you're overflowing. Meanwhile, there's other hospitals around here that have nothing. Empty fucking beds. I've talked to these nurses like, oh, yeah, we haven't seen shit. Must not be that bad then. And then the CDC director comes out. She says herself, we cannot guarantee the 800,000 deaths as a result of COVID were accurately from COVID. Majority of them had 2 or 3 other underlying conditions. COVID certainly didn't help. I'm not saying it didn't. But you need to be fair and balanced with your reporting.
It was
81% of those deaths,
people,
obese. And
obese.
Over 65% of those that died were over the age of 65. Or I'm sorry, it was 70. Mm-hmm. But were over the age of 65. These are things they did not report at first because it undermines the narrative of forcing the vaccination on people. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're a liberal and you're listening to this, do you now understand why I've pushed so hard? Do not believe in your government. Do not trust your experts. Think for yourself. Think for yourself. That's all I'm saying. Don't sit there and buy into a left narrative or a right, because there are people on the right like, oh, there's no such thing as COVID. Oh, yes, there is. It does exist. We've had it. But the point being is it's not as deadly as they made it out to be for our demographic. Yeah. So why the fuck am I shutting down businesses, wearing a mask?
Shutting down gyms.
Yeah. Here's another thing. Okay. I got to get into this. Look, I've thought a lot about it, and I haven't talked to you about this, so I want to get your opinion on this. For those that don't know, Starbucks recanted. They said, we're no longer to force the vaccine mandates. Many other corporations are following suit. Hey, that's their business. They have a right to do this. They should never have done it in the first place. Carhartt, the clothing company, this is big on social media right now. Carhartt comes out and says, we are still going to mandate that our employees have to get vaccinated to work here. Okay. Instantaneously, GOP members, people on the right, are calling for a boycott of Carhartt clothing. Is that or is that not cancel culture?
Yes.
That's cancel culture.
Yeah.
It is. Because people are saying, well, we're not saying they shouldn't exist as a business. We're saying that nobody should buy their stuff.
They're
which leads to them not being in business. Ergo, this is cancel culture.
Yeah. You got to let it take its natural progression. So if people that work there want to get the vaccine, let them get the vaccine. And if they don't, they can quit.
Yeah. But I think and here's the thing. I think the fucked up part about it, though, is there's people there that have like made careers out of working there that are forced to put themselves in positions like, do I just waste all the time I invest in? But that's kind of, again,
that's a shitty thing that the company has put them the position that they put them in.
I agree. I think it is cancel culture.
I mean, I'm not like a Carhartt or
me neither.
So it doesn't really make a difference.
But here's the thing.
I'll continue not to buy it. Okay.
Yeah, here's the thing. Like, if you don't want to buy it, don't buy it. I can understand why somebody's like, I'm not going to support a company that doesn't push for freedom. Yeah. I respect that. I get that. But when you come out and say that we should boycott them, now you're participating in cancel culture. Yeah. It's the exact same thing the left does. The right does it just as well. I saw Adam Calhoun went viral. Mm-hmm. Adam Calhoun did this thing, the shtick, where he's burning his Carhartt hat and then his pants and his jacket. It's like, all right, Carhartt, you made your choice. I'm making mine. He burns all the stuff. It's like, okay, look, I'm not even going to pretend like back when we first did this podcast early, 2016, 2017, 2018, that I wasn't kind of that mindset. And then I started to progress a little bit in a sense of, why are we doing this? This is dumb. Mm-hmm. Like, you're burning something. They've already got your money. It'd be like somebody protesting shell shock. Like, I'm dumping my CBD down the drain. It's like, well, you already bought it, so we already got your money. So I don't know what you're trying to protest here. You're just wasting good CBD. But Adam does this. And it's like, here, look, regardless of how you feel about this, don't burn your shit. Give it away.
Yeah.
Give it to some people that are homeless. Or cut the tags off of it. Nobody knows it's a Carhartt. I mean, there you go. But don't burn your shit. This is stupid. Like, you're wasting something that could be given to somebody in need. Do that. If you feel so strongly about, and I'm not condemning you for feeling strong. Like, I agree, I'm there with you. But I'm not going to boycott Carhartt. I also don't buy them, and I'm not going to promote a boycott. I don't believe in it. I just think that if we're going to make a stand on something, try and figure out a more beneficial way of dealing with this, in the sense of, like I said, give the clothing to those that are less fortunate. I mean, there were people in the comments, because I posed a question on my social media about this. Like, do you feel like this is cancel culture? A lot of people were saying yes. A lot of people were saying no. But I think if the end result is the same, which is to either you bend the knee to the whim of the majority or you go out of business, that is, by definition, I think, cancel culture. So, I think that if a business wants to do it, it's their right to do it. I don't agree with it. I think it's stupid. But also, the same token, here's the other part that we have to really address here. And look, when you listen to this podcast, listen to it with an open mind, because here's the thing. If our convictions are that strong that we don't agree with companies forcing this vaccine on its employees, well, I do have to question Adam Calhoun as far as, if you're going to burn your Carhartt clothing in protest of a boycott, well, how strong are your convictions? And I don't hate Adam. I know Adam. Mm-hmm. But this is something that we need to address and discuss. If our convictions are so embedded in our minds that we will protest and boycott anyone that forces vaccine mandates on the people, we're making these videos from our iPhones and posting them to Facebook and Instagram, which are forcing vaccines on their employees. Adam Calhoun's doing the exact same thing. How strong are your convictions then? Or are your convictions just convictions of convenience? It's too easy to throw away a coat. It's different when you now have to essentially alienate your audience that you've worked hard to build over years, how you make your money. Well, then when it comes down to money, suddenly our convictions just kind of dwindle away.
Yeah, I don't think I need anybody to tell me what to boycott and what not to boycott. If I see something from a company that I don't necessarily agree with, I'm not going to go patronize their company.
Yeah.
So I don't need
I agree.
a
I agree
nationwide
I'm just not going to sit there and use my audience and say, we're going to boycott
this is what we're doing, yeah.
And I've done it in the past, and I was wrong. I realize I'm admitting that I was wrong in the way I thought, because then I had some friends bring up some points like, well, you don't agree with this, that, and the other in regards to abortion, blah, blah, blah. What about Target? Target's a left-leaning company. What about Amazon that owns Twitch? You utilize that. It's like, fuck, that's actually a really good point.
Yeah, I don't.
That's actually
I try not to frequent those stores.
Yeah.
I try not to go to Walmart. I try not to go to
the mom and pop
Target.
shops. I get, I can understand that.
And so
I do. There's some actually.
Does this make me want to go out and buy Carhartt stuff? No.
Yeah.
I mean, was I going to buy it anyway?
No.
I doubt it.
I bought one Carhartt jacket when I worked in welding a long time ago. It was actually a really good jacket, but I don't agree with what they're doing.
Yeah.
But I would be remiss and hypocritical if I said it's not a private business's right. I think it's discrimination, and I think that people should have a right to sue.
I think you could say, too, that if you say, hey, I don't agree with this.
Yeah.
If you're in the market for this type of apparel,
yeah.
Maybe you try this company instead.
But here's the thing. I feel like we are moving into an era of politically based shopping, and that's why we've never been political with Shell Shock. Like, I've been political, Josh has been political. People know. Mm-hmm. But Shell Shock has grown to the point where a lot of people don't know who we are. They just like the product. And Shell Shock will never, the only political position we've ever taken is when we talked about we will not mandate vaccines. You do not have to wear a mask when you come into our store. And we are a pro 2A company. We've made those posts. We basically said, this is where we're coming at. We will never do this. This is where we stand. But I find it to be hypocritical on my part, though, to sit there and say that I will only patron companies that I align 100% politically. That's never going to happen because there are going to be some companies I don't agree with. Does that mean I'm not going to buy their products? I don't agree with that. Like I don't think I will. I mean, I don't think I'll believe in that. I think I'm still going to go to Target. I'm still going to go to Walmart. I'm going to go for the most reasonably priced and affordable products that are the best. I'm not going to. I won't participate in it anymore. I don't think it's going to be beneficial for this country. But I do think it's people's First Amendment right to vocalize when they disagree with what a company's stance is. I just think as a company, it's fucking stupid of you to do it.
Yeah.
I think you're just basically begging for dollars at this point. You are trying to virtue signal and get people to come over and support you based primarily only on your political viewpoints. And the reason we posted on Shell Shock is basically saying, hey, if we're not doing it, just make a stand for what's right and for what supports freedom. And hopefully other companies will do the same. But this is not saying, Josh and I had a long talk about, like, do we really want to do this? Like, I don't know. But at the same token, it's like you stand for freedom. Mm-hmm. I think when it really comes down to trying to set an example to, like, look, if you're a business in Dallas, you don't have to bend the knee to this bullshit because we didn't. No. Nothing happened to us. Police didn't show up.
Even the gym that I go to still has the mask mandate up on their windows. I mean, they don't enforce it.
Yeah.
But they still have it up there.
Yeah.
Like, we're not putting that shit in our window.
Yeah.
Like, nobody. They're not going to tell us
exactly
how to. Like,
if we don't believe in the government coming in and saying you have to freaking, because the same people that are like, if the government should be forcing these businesses to adhere, then the the baker should have baked the gay cake or the transgender cake. Like that's the side that you're standing on.
Yeah,
I can't agree with that.
No,
that's that business's right to choose.
Bit, yeah.
If that business owner wants to just and I say discriminate loosely against a gay couple or a transgender couple, that's his right. He owns that business.
Yeah.
There are shops in California that will not serve cops. That's their right to do it. But on that note, I think there should be business owners that will not serve black people. They have the right. Yeah. Now, will they do that? Fuck no. They'll get sued in a heartbeat. That's the free market system working. Or people will not shop at those businesses because you're a racist. I'm not going to shop there. I'll go over here.
I mean,
they'll go out a bit. The free market runs its course. But now everything is so hyper politically charged when it comes to business and commerce. I'm like, oh my God. But ultimately, at the heart of it, I think it's corporatism. I think it's just business out there. Here's the thing. Like Ben Shapiro made a really good point. He said normally black people, by and large, buy far more footwear and clothing than white people. Why do you think Nike doubled down on Colin Kaepernick? They were going hard after their demographic. It wasn't about actual standing for what it was about money. Money was at the core of all of this. They made bank.
He made
on Colin Kaepernick made fucking, oh yeah. Oh, yeah.
Talking
and then he
about-
turns around and talks about how the NFL's a slave trade as he's trying back out for the NFL. Shut the, I have never met one dude like, down on the river. Know what I miss? I miss being a slave. I'm going back to being a slave. Let's go back to, who wants to go? Oh, they paying us now? No, we're going to go be. Shut the fuck up, Kaepernick, you idiot. Way down on the river. I miss that. I'm going back. What? That makes no sense. Black power. I'm so done with this. It's stupid. It's so like I don't want to go on a Kaepernick tangent right now, but come on, it's just the dumbest thing ever. Just the dumbest thing ever.
I know he'll probably go bankrupt after this whole thing.
Oh my God,
is behind him. Can we pull up the Kaepernick thing again, or no,
bro? My buddy of mine just said you got a shout out on Breaking Points. Me and Amber just watched it. What's Breaking Points?
I don't know.
Anybody know what Breaking Points is? My buddy I served in the Army with. He just texted me this. I don't know what Breaking Points is. What, does anybody know what Breaking Points is? I'll text him back and ask him. Oh. But yeah. OAN Network. Oh, YouTube channels. Oh, let's go look at this. Let's go look this up right now. We're doing this live on the show. It's a YouTube channel, Breaking Points. I'm not seeing it. YouTube channels, OAN Network. Didn't OAN just get banned? I've never heard of this. Okay, here's the YouTube channel. Oh, they got 690,000 subscribers. That's cool. Oh, I think I see the episode here. I think this is a. I think this is the interview I did with Crenshaw. I've been told by a few people are using the interview. Yeah, they've been using the interview to essentially where Crenshaw came out and talked about how he's in agreement that Congress should be banned from trading stocks, and then all that. And I asked them the questions. I asked them. People like went after me. They were kind of like, "Oh, you're having that rhino on your platform." I was like, no, I just want to talk to him about this. Where does he stand on this? What's the truth? What's the fact? What's not?
Sitting member of Congress,
Yeah.
So it would be nice to
Have a conversation.
with him and ask him some questions.
Absolutely.
I mean,
But people just by virtue of him coming on the show, like, oh my God, you must agree with that. No, but I want to have him on the show and talk about this.
Trump didn't return our calls. We're trying to get Donald Trump.
I
on
love
here.
how people are like, you should have Ben Shapiro on your show. It's just like, yeah. Okay, yeah, no, this is the right one. This is the clip. Ah, shit, we're gonna have to. I can't hear it. I don't think the people can hear it either.
No.
All right. Well, actually, here's the link. I'll share the link in the chat. This is cool. We're gonna watch this after the show. Apparently, they gave a shout out to the podcast. That's cool. I like that. I appreciate that. Using my new media, not paying. I don't give a fuck. Here's the link. YouTube watch. Go give it. I haven't watched this yet. We'll watch it after the show. Now I'm excited. Cool. We got some like journalism out there. That's awesome. Look at us, man.
Good for you,
great.
buddy.
Hopefully the show grows.
Yeah.
Hopefully the show grows. So, all right, moving on. 438,000. I forgot to do the screen switch. Sorry about that. If you're watching on Twitch, do you like it when I shift into the news segment where you can actually see the article, or do you just like it where Josh and I are main on the?
I kind of like this better. To be
You
honest with
like the screen one with the news? I do like it so people can actually see the articles that we're writing or reading from, so they know. Elizabeth says, John, there's a beautiful piece of arc of work for you. That is Mary's painting. Mary did a very good job at the sip and paint. And yeah, I brought her. I just wanted to showcase it. I like her painting. It's really good.
Gorgeous.
This is coming from Breitbart saying 438,110 dead. New York Times admits Joe Biden failed to shut down the virus. Why did you ever think?
He also said he was going to cure cancer.
Yeah, he did. Why did you ever think old child sniffing Joe could do this? Like, sincerely. Like, let's look at the comparison of politicians.
Well,
you had Trump.
It's because he had 3 degrees from Delaware State University.
3 degrees from hell is what he is. You had Trump that literally brought Kim Jong-il or Un to the table from North Korea.
Yeah.
He brought him to the table, who was threatening nuclear war. Who is more believable when it comes to stopping a virus? And Trump never said he could.
No.
And nobody should ever. You can't stop. Did he?
He did say he wasn't going to come to our borders because he had mentioned it in the State of the
yeah.
Union. I mean, but it's
Yeah.
you can't really. I don't know if I would have said like it's not.
Yeah,
coming
I'd be
here.
like, hey, look, we need to prepare.
Yeah, we need
if
to
it
prepare.
comes, we need to be ready. But even still, Trump did shut the border with China, and
Yeah.
they called him a xenophobe. And then Biden comes out, and
Yeah.
then he shuts the borders to certain African countries because of the Omicron variant. And here we are. We're still with the Omicron.
The border crossing too was
Oh,
at
yeah.
an
Absolutely.
all-time low.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Illegal
It's
crossing.
fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know how anybody could ever believe Biden when he would say that we're going to stop this virus.
He's lied his entire
Oh, shit in my
career.
pants. But I mean, again,
He comes up. He makes these stories up,
yeah.
and like that, and no journalists fact check him or follow up with the person you're talking about died 8 years before this story actually was supposed to take place.
Yeah.
So it's
stupid.
yeah, it's
The New York Times admits that Joe Biden failed to shut down the virus. They're as equally complicit because the New York Times pushed this stuff left and right. They were pushing this shit left and right. You were the media mouthpiece of the Fauci team.
Mm-hmm.
I'm appalled that these people are trying to steer that ship back center mass. Like, wait, you helped echo this propaganda.
Yeah.
You didn't question it. You bought into it hook, line, and sinker. You'll excuse me if I don't give a fuck about anything you have to say.
Yeah.
It's the same as the QAnon people in the GOP. Why these influencers are still as big and even bigger than what they were when they were pushing QAnon. Why would you believe them ever again? You fell for something so fucking just incredibly transparent. And anyone with a brain like, that doesn't really make much sense to me. How the fuck is the government going to stop a virus? You can't.
Mm-mm.
You can't. But people still believe in these people. Like it's just nuts to me.
Their reputation is eternally garbage.
Bro, you go read some of the comments on some of these conservative influencers, and I'm blessed. Like before my page got banned, both of them. Like most of the people in the comments on my social media, some of them didn't agree with me, but these are also not the same people that are going to buy something hook, line, and sinker just because John Burke says so, and I respect that about them. But some of these other people, they're mainly like the boomer conservative groups, poorly educated, that anything that influencer posts, they believe 100%, no verification, no fact checking it on their own. They just believe it because the influencer said it. It's like, that's dangerous. And they do the same thing with Trump. They do the same thing with Biden. If you do that with anybody in your life, you're wrong. You are 100% wrong. You should not be like that. And they did it. They do it for these influencers. They could come out tomorrow and make a post that Biden's talking about putting people with COVID in a legitimate concentration camp and putting them to an oven, and there's going to be people that believe that shit. There's going to be people that believe that shit. It's like, what the fuck? Like, that's when we have to slow down and caution ourselves. Like, wait, we need to differentiate between what's truth and what's bullshit. And that's where I feel like the MSM has been a big promoter of. Like, we don't know who to believe anymore or where to get our news from.
It's not the legacy media. That's for damn sure.
Fuck no. Last story of the day. Truckers fighting government vaccine mandate march to Canadian capital. What did I tell you about? What did I say about this back like months ago? I said if the truckers and the airline pilots unite and they strike, this thing is over.
Yeah.
Look what's happening right now. This broke January 23rd, 8:41 p.m., 2022. Toronto, January 23rd, Reuters. A convoy of truckers started their march from Vancouver on Sunday to the Canadian capital city of Ottawa, protesting the government's COVID-19 vaccine mandate for truckers, which the industry says would create driver shortages and fuel inflation. Truckers under the banner of Freedom Convoy 2022 has raised $2.7 million, $2.2 million by our standards, by Sunday through a GoFundMe campaign to fight the mandate. The funds raised would be used to help the cost of fuel, food, and lodging, and GoFundMe page said. The convoy is expected to reach Ottawa on January 29th. Here's the thing. This is not a small convoy. This is not just something. This is a huge, huge convoy. The trucking industry is vital to ensure smooth flow of goods since more than two-thirds. Here's the thing. That's also going to hit America. This stuff's going to hit America. I guarantee it. But as many as 32,000 or 20% of the 160,000 Canadians across border truck drivers may be taken off the roads due to the mandate. The Canadian Trucking Alliance estimates. Read more. The CTA, however, said in a statement on Sunday, it does not support any protests on public roadways, and the only way to cross the border on a commercial truck is by getting vaccinated. Good luck. They're going to cave. When you cripple the pocketbooks of the rich elites, they're going to cave. Guaranteed. Good for these guys. Good for these guys to go in there and actually stand up for the beliefs at that point. Strike, fuck yeah. That's the way it should be. I mean, that's how most strikes occur. That's how most unions form. Yeah. And the other thing is, you have a lot of unions out there that when it came time to it, didn't do their job.
Yep.
do their job.
Yep. You don't hear
You
about
pay these tuition, these
plumbers
dues.
and electricians
Yeah.
going through this issue, right? Because what's going to happen if you can't get a plumber over to your house? Toilet's going to sit there clogged.
Mm-hmm.
Pipe's going to be.
Or you learn how to do it yourself. I mean, yeah.
I mean,
But the
there's
point
certain
that I'm
things
just trying to make
yeah,
is you pay
like,
these union dues. The union, when it comes time to it, bends the knee to this bullshit.
Well, they're an essential part of the country.
Oh, yeah,
like
yeah.
you need these people.
100%. That's why I said the pilots and the truckers, shit. You go for that, you go that route, absolutely you're going to win.
Yeah.
You're absolutely going to. You get them by the balls because they can't replace you in enough time. There's no way possible.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it really takes. But, all right, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say thank you. I appreciate you being here for the Shell Shock CBD, I was going to say podcast, the All-American Savage Show podcast. We're streaming live on Rumble right now. You can find me on Rumble at John Burke. Go check us out. I will fix the YouTube thing. We normally stream on the All-American Savage Show on YouTube as well, but you can check us out on iTunes, Spotify, and SoundCloud for the audio version of the podcast, or you can tune in for the live show over on Twitch at The John Burke. Download the Twitch app. It is free. It doesn't cost you anything. And then come follow me at The John Burke. We're live Monday, Wednesday, and Friday around 11 a.m. CST. We hit or miss. But we appreciate your love and support. And again, this episode is brought to you by ShellShockCBD.com. We just launched the Delta 9 gummies. They have THC in them. They will get you higher than giraffe pussy. Take my word for it. You will be high as fuck. And it feels amazing.
Gonna make that
I pop a Delta 8. I'm telling you, man. I pop a Delta 8 at night before bed. I feel happy as hell. I feel great. The Delta 9s work just as good.
Yeah.
And just give us a shot. Look, we even have sample packs. If you're not sure if you want to try it or not, try our sample packs for yourselves and see. Because, again, I can understand why somebody doesn't want to waste or feel like they might waste $40 on a pack that'll last you for a month. I get that. I understand and respect that. That's why we also launched the sample packs. We have the sample bundle deals. This is what we're looking at right here, just for those that are tuning in right now, and I'll put the link in the bio or the link in the chat. This essentially, we have samples. We have bundle deal 1, which is THC free. We have bundle deal 2, which is THC and THC free. Bundle deal 3, which is THC, and bundle deal 4. They range from $20 to $35. And again, you get a sample pack of each of what we have to offer. And on those packs, it is marked whether it is THC free or not. So that way you don't have to worry about pissing hot at your job. So if you want to try something, here's the link. Go give it a shot. You've got nothing to lose and everything to gain, to include a better quality of life. That's incredible. We appreciate your love and support. We appreciate your support of the podcast. Thank you for sharing us. Thank you for sharing the Twitch streams. Thank you for sharing the podcast itself. Josh, anything to add before we freaking end this bad boy?
Yeah, just one quick thing, too. Like our CBD gummies, the 25 milligram CBD gummies, I had sent some to my friend in Florida, and he took like 3 of them. He was like, dude, I got stoned off of just the CBD.
Yeah.
They're isolate gummies. They're THC free. But
They'll still make you feel good.
Yeah, he was like, dude, those are good. I'm like, I told you.
There you go.
So.
All right, make sure you give me a follow over at Sergeant Savage on Twitter, and then John Burke 11B on Instagram. Until then, we will see y'all bright and early Wednesday, and tomorrow we're going to do our newest John Ross. Until then, you stay savage, America, and we love you, and we can't thank you enough for all that you do for us and support us. Take care.